of success is understanding the failure cycle. Now, we probably all have experienced it ourselves. You might have experienced it. I've seen friends who've gone through it, and I've gone through it. The classic cycle of New Year comes and we decide that's it, we're going to get fit, and we join a gym. It's probably the biggest intake of people to the gym is New Year, all these New Year's resolutions. So what happens is we get really excited, and we get all excited here and start going to the gym, and then all of a sudden it starts to get a little bit hard, so we start to avoid it. And then we've avoided it for so long, we start to come up with excuses because it's getting really hard, and then we start to blame lots of other things, like it's too cold, like it's too inconvenient, like it's too much money, or whatever it is. So exactly the same happens in business, and being aware of it is the first step of actually overcoming it. So it might be that you're starting, a new culture, working with the team on getting to know each other. It might be that you're working on a new marketing plan. It might be you're working on a new business plan, and you're really excited about it at the start. And then you're coming close to here, and this is the key to overcoming the failure cycle, is actually pinpointing and recognizing when you start to avoid and start to understand, I've got to that point where I'm starting to avoid. And then instead of continuing with the avoidance, what we want to do is have a breakthrough and keep on going and not go down this cycle that so often happens to people when all that excitement falls off. Now, I'll share a little something about business, and you might want to write this one down, that successful profit and business profit is actually boring. Boring equals profit. Profit is boring because you've got to do the boring things to get the profit. It's no different to, when you have a newborn baby and you love it and it's really exciting. You still have to change your shitty nappy. And it's a wonderful experience and you love your baby to death, but you still have to change a shitty nappy. Well, business is the same. There are boring things you have to do in business. You've got to reconcile things. You've got to do boring things. And if you want to be profitable in business, there are certain things that we have to do, that you have to do, that I have to do, that we have to do on a continual basis, that we can't drop off and avoid if we want to be successful and if we want to be profitable. So being aware of it here is the first key. Breaking through it is the next key. So if we're wanting to look at, okay, what are the keys to actually not going in this standard cycle of when the excitement honeymoon period's over and getting here, one is having wrong goals. If the goals are wrong, the excitement is not going to continue as long. So we make sure that they're good goals, they're correct goals for you, they motivate you. The next one here is having an unclear focus. If you're not clear of what it is that you're actually wanting to do and what the outcome is, then it's going to be a lot easier to get through this avoidance because you're not very clear. Just the same as, if you're going on a journey and you're in Google Maps and you're driving along the journey, if you haven't told Google Maps where you're going, you're going to start to go in circles for a while. No different with this. No different with going along the journey of achieving your goal. So we need to have very clear focus. The other one here is no action plan. And if you don't have an action plan and know what needs to be done to achieve the goal, well, it's really difficult to be able to get that achieved. You're not going to go to a builder and say, build me this house, and just do it how you feel. Do it without a plan. It's not going to work very well, is it? He's not going to be very clear on what you actually want. We need to have a plan. So the clearer your plan is, the easier it is for you to avoid this. The last one here is mental barriers. And I've talked about that with fear. I've talked about that in self-sabotage. It's all the head trash. That little horrible voice that we have in our head that tells us we can't do it or that tells us we're not good enough. Do you ever have that? I do. Everybody does. We all have that little voice of doubt. Well, we just have to tell it to go away, sit down and be quiet in the corner because we've got a job to do. We've got our plan. We're clear, we're focused, and we know where we're going. So I wish you to get clear on understanding when you come to that point, identifying it and smashing through it.